Hello, hello, and welcome back to an afternoon stream of Skeleseller. Wow, fantastic. It'll just be an amazing afternoon. So where we left off, I had to address this problem down here. To do, refactor this. Yeah, so let's go take a look. I wonder who shall claim first in this stream. All right, so we make an adventurer, but this time around we don't have the town. So we need to make this with like a nullable town. We initialize this here. And then we make a new town component, even if this doesn't exist. I wonder if it's a problem anywhere in ready, but we don't ever add this to the scene tree. No, we just, oh, maybe we do. No, we don't. Man, this is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so what does this typically take? A town and an adventurer class? The town could be null. Hey, Sheffield. Code. Imagine you just shout that into your computer. You get a perfect program out of it. This is like generate for the sake of getting a tooltip. In fact, I wonder if I should put this in base ability. Like get tooltip without adventurer. Yeah, or with fake adventurer or something like that. Because there's a get tooltip for entity. Yeah, so we can make a public string get tooltip without entity. Town. Okay. Yeah. And then we copy this code in. This is for an ability. What are we doing here? We end up getting an ability, but oh man, what am I doing? We create an adventurer so that we can call set ability level. Yuck. Sinister. What did your boyfriend make? And did you finish all the meatloaf? I mean, to be fair, you said it'd be at 1 p.m. I ended up coming back before 1, and I said I'd be here at like 1:30 or something. So I'm just ahead of schedule. This won't even work. We need to... I don't know. I wonder if we should just have a create adventure. No, we shouldn't. Get tooltip without entity. Isn't there a static? Yeah, there's a constructability. Oh man, this is kind of nuts. All right, so this even gets us the adventurer class, which we might have known. Adventurer class. Yeah, we could fetch it from the ability ID. But I think in the case of this, we know what it is ahead of time. Yeah, we do. So don't have it compute that. So this is if this thing exists. So now this needs to be town question mark. And then init needs to take in, well, it just needs to be, it needs to be a question mark. Then we say if town is not null, then add this in. The only time this should be null is if we're constructing a fake adventurer for sake of getting a tooltip, e.g. for meta perks from the title screen, where we don't even have a town. That's going to change everything. Every protected... Oh, this is void. Never mind. What am I talking about? that part's fine. Hooray. All right. So we pass in the town, which may or may not exist. We need the level of the ability. And then the rest of this we just call get tooltip. Tooltip text. Can we just return this? All right, so there's that. Now we need to do some other little things here. Use the proper level. Yeah, so we need to do this, which is only possible if we have the town. Yeah. And where do we do this? Right after making the adventure? If town is not null. All right, anything else? Ability component, set level, base ability, get tooltip, queue free. Yeah. All right, so now what we can do here is we can just say tooltip text equals base ability dot get. This takes in the town, the adventurer class, the ability ID, and the level. And then delete all that stuff. Oh, good. Ability ID doesn't exist. I must have just deleted that. Hey, player. How you doing? How's your vacation been going? Where's the ability ID? There it is. Okay. All right. This is pretty nice. And now we need to do the same thing over here. In this garbage. Ability ID, level to grant. Adventurer class. Hey, Belia is here. Just enter. What are you doing here? We're working on a game called Skeleseller. I'll show you in just a sec. Let me just finish this so I don't lose my train of thought. Okay. I think it's done. Yeah. So let's see if it builds. Yeah, welcome in. Okay, it does not build. It'll take me just a sec. This is ability ID to grant. And then we need this in what? A few other places. There's just a string. Then what's the problem here? The name town does not exist. Oh, this should be null. And tooltip text. Yeah, should be doing quite well. Made it to Copenhagen. This place is civilization. Metro's fully automated. No drivers. Yeah, I guess. Have you been inspired by any of the places you've been and be like, I need to move? Made some cheeseburgers. Sounds good. Craving a burger myself lately. Okay, so Belia, this is the game that I'm working on. It's called Skeleseller. And actually, let me start at the beginning here. So in the main mode, it's just a very casual, laid-back game. There's no real difficulty. You can't lose. You hire adventurers. So here's my mage. You send them into battle. So I'll send them into the forest, for example. They fight automatically for you. I'll make this a little larger. So they're casting fireballs and lightning spells. And when they win this fight, which I'll just force, they win some items. So I got some potions here. And we drag them to our shop and sell these to customers. And use the money to hire more adventurers, to upgrade our town, to get new buildings and stuff. So we can get different perks here and, you know, feed items to this slime, for example, and get a farm, etc. Level up. So that's the basic game. And that's all available in the demo right now if you want to check that out. But we're working on challenge mode. And I've been working on this aspect of the game for about maybe a month and a half now. And the first month of it was me steering toward it being a challenge. And we put it in front of playtesters, and playtesters basically said, well, wait a second, the base game is very casual, very laid back. I don't want a challenge. So the way we're changing it, in short, is we're adding in these meta perks where in between runs, you'll be able to make the future runs easier. And then when it's gotten too easy for you, you'll just increase the difficulty on yourself. So yeah, that is what we're doing. This should work. The rogue should now start with quick strike. Yeah. All right, great. Wow. And then what? Same thing with battle perks. We got to make sure battle perks aren't broken. I don't have the farm. I need to get the farm. There, that'll work. Nice. Now get us some battle perks. This isn't breaking, right? Nope, it's looking good. Okay, so let's see if we can get offered a level 2 of one of these. So far, no. Still so far, no. There it is. Well, yep, nice. It's working. Wow. Yeah, wow. All right. Then let's go check this in. Oh, I definitely got to write a comment for this thing. Because this is not going to be obvious at all. Oh, VS Code's broken. I see the potential. Yeah, so far people have been liking the demo. This challenge mode stuff, the reason I'm adding it in is for replayability. Because when you get done with the demo, there's no real like second playthrough you can do and have it be interesting. So I think challenge mode will add that replay factor. Okay, so gets a tooltip for an ability without needing an adventurer. This will construct and clean up a fake adventurer. If specified, it will try to use this for the sake of reflecting the proper stats for the adventurer. This is useful. This is useful very rarely, right? This is only needed for some abilities that actually reference stats. Abilities with constant or with absolute damage numbers rather than percentages. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's keep looking through this. So this one's good. This is now good, but can any of it be made better? Make an adventurer, reflect their stats, get their abilities component just for the sake of, no, for setting the, wait, what? We call set ability level to then go get the ability. Okay, sure. Then get the tooltip, then free the adventurer, then return the text. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, let's keep looking through the rest of these. I see Red and C Sharp. I was wondering, what are you building the game with? Unity, Godot? I'm using Godot. You won't see me enter Godot all that frequently, but it is the engine running all this stuff. Thou shalt vanquish those vermin bugs. Hey, Xyletics. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get through at least some more fixtures this afternoon. And then ideally, once you have all these different categories of meta perks, adding the perks themselves should be like dead simple. Well, there's two parts of it. It's figuring out which to add. This is sort of medium difficulty. And then it's adding them, and this should be like super simple. This might actually be a little bit tough, so I'm not sure. All right, we're announcing Joe Dot wrong. Excuse me. Jadoot. All right, anything else? Looking pretty good. This says to the rogue. We could parameterize this too. In fact, we could parameterize all of this based on... Oh, I didn't even think about this. Yeah, let's parameterize the whole thing. Meta perk granting adventurer ability. Yeah, meta perk granting adventurer ability. Okay, so how do we do this? Quicker strike. Here it is. This whole description could just be coded into here, right? And maybe I should do this in a different thing. Yeah, I'll do this in a different thing. I want to just check in what I've got so far. And we have two other little changes I need to make. change this so that the description is created by a template in the base class. No reason for each one of these. No need for any localized messages in derived classes. Unless it does something special. Okay. Yeah, so it's not perfect, but I'll check it in for now. What else do we have here? Yeah, this already has a comment and everything. I think this is fine. And we show that it worked. This is fine too. This should not be checked in. Generate with specific ability versus just generate. Yeah. Adventure now has a question mark town there. That's fine. That's fine. That's not fine. That's fine. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine too. This got a lot cleaner. And then finally this, which is a separate commit altogether. Okay, so allow for, maybe I'll just say this, add this thing. There's also a single perk that uses it to grant quicker strike to the rogue for now. All right, so there's that commit, then there's this commit. Fix tiny issues in CM's end screen. Just look at the commit. They're very minor. Okay, a couple of small changes now. So this is done. This we'll do next. Grant quicker strike. So we're just going to take all the localized message out of here, which will hopefully not be needed at all. And then this and this out of here. And instead of passing in the display name, that's not going to work, is it? Display name would be grant and then a thing. It's going to be dynamically constructed from a thing that won't exist, will it? Yeah, I want to look up the display name of this based on... Actually, that's it. I just want to look up the display name of that. But it's possible we wouldn't have constructed that yet. All ability data. Display name. Oh, I don't think this is doable. Because in order for us to do that, we would need to construct them all first. Oh, man. Yeah, I think we need to construct it first. So we technically do need this to exist here. I don't like that. But then this can go away. Which means this description doesn't need this here anymore. Okay, so this is going to be grants display name level to the adventurer class. Okay, not too bad. What's the problem here? Why is this highlighted? Please mark this as partial. Oh, yeah. I know this is wrong. So this has got to be messages.getDescription. And then we just pass in all these different things. So display name, ability display name. Level is going to be level to grant. Adventurer class we already have. And then base ability tooltip. There we go. So we just need the ability to display name, which should be pretty easy to fetch. String that all abilities dot get display name. Easy. Okay, let's go try that out. What this is going to let us do is just not write the same description a million different times. In fact, maybe we could do this for some of the other abilities too, the other meta perks. At least the one that grants a perk, we probably could. Yeah, let's take a look and see if it looks okay. Grants quicker strike level 1 to the rogue. Yeah, perfect. I like it. So we could do this for meta perk granting perk, right? There's only one of these right now, and it's what? Meta perk increased appetite? Yeah, here it is. Start each run with level 1 increased appetite. Yeah, I don't see a reason why this can't be just in the base class. I think it's better than having to write this out a million times, right? Unless there's some like special flavor text you want for this. You could be like, the slime is extra hungry. I don't think we need to do that. Yeah, I don't think we need to do that. All right, so then let's copy paste this into the base class as well. And then there's one other type of meta perk, and it's meta perk granting higher max level. What does that one say? Oh my God, what's the name of this? Higher level, here it is. Increases the maximum level that will be offered to you. Yeah. So all three of these can be changed. I think that'll be nice. And that way they'll have the same description, so you know you don't have to keep reading them. I think sometimes if you have flavorful descriptions like your fire burns hotter, dealing plus 10% more damage, and then you have something like lightning sears through the sky, dealing plus 10% more damage or something like that. You're like, okay, I got to read through this to see if this is meaningful just to get to the part that's going to matter here. Yeah, so we'll just have them always be the same. And if it turns out I'm shooting myself in the foot, then we'll reparameterize them later. All right, so no longer need a description function for this. But my lore, my lore. Who will provide me with lore? Yeah, sorry, it's going away. No more lore. No lore allowed. All right, so we need that and this. And then this needs to be abstract partial class. And then the description function changes. So we just return messages.getDescription. All right, so increases the maximum level of ability display name that will be offered to you on a run to new max level. So ability display name, colon, ability display name, new max level, and the rest of that's all fine. Ability display name, we go get from the same thing we did right here. This just turns into perk to grant higher max level. Yeah, we can delete this too. Okay. And then one last one of these to do. Let's copy this into, where's the last one? Ah, here, meta perk granting perk. Okay, localize. This will let us get our using statements here. So now we don't have the get description. Hey, Ramy. How you doing? Also, congrats on the runtime. It's pretty good. Turn messages dot get description. Okay, so this needs to come from here. And this gets deleted. What does this say? Start each run with level ability display name. Okay, now we pass on all these things. Is that even right? Perk level. Ability to display name. Did it just make that into JavaScript? Actually, this is pretty nice. I like that. Yeah, let's do that. It cuts out a line. And I think it's pretty readable. Tired but good. Went for a small 10K walk today to get rid of the muscle aches. Oh, nice. Yeah, when my wife and I were training for the Camino de Santiago, we went on very long walks. And I like the occasional long walk. I don't think I like doing it every day. And I also don't like doing it in the heat pretty much ever. And unfortunately, our trip was scheduled for, I don't know, like mid to late summer. So the training had happened in early to midsummer. Jake, thanks for the sub. Welcome. Welcome in. It's not nice when it's scorching. Yeah. You know, one of my favorite times of year, and this is very rare, is when it's chilly inside, but the sun is warm enough to warm you up. So it feels nice sitting in the sun. I like that. I don't like when you step outside and you're just immediately hot. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well too. Gonna try, as in have to do, that trail, which is 38 kilometers, 1,200 height. Huh. Did it in 2 days last year. Yeah, there's a trail around here that's really popular. Enchantments, Washington. This place, I went on this once. This is fantastic. It's just so gorgeous. And this particular slope, this is called Asgard Pass. And this is very steep. It's quite grueling, but the views are amazing. So I start something nice. Congratulations. Yeah, just the whole area. It just feels like you're in a fantasy world. Hey, look at this. It's crazy to me. Hey, Luke. The other day I managed to try your demo. Spent 6 hours, more or less. And I have to thank you for to make you my compliments. It's really promising. Nice, yeah. Did you make a video? I think I came across your video on YouTube. Weirdly, I can't find it now. No, wait, maybe it wasn't you. Never mind. Someone else made one. Yeah. Well, anyway, cool. I'm glad you like it. If you want to join the playtest, feel free to check this out because you left a review. Okay, that's where I saw your name pop up. Yeah, thank you for doing that. Yeah, I was going to say, I remember seeing there was a new review. Where do I even find this here? Yeah, and I read through, I check this pretty frequently. Where is, God, finding reviews is so difficult. There it is, yeah. Yeah, so I do appreciate it. I also appreciate that I think this is your only review you've ever done on Steam. Okay, so all these should work, and it should be a little bit easier now in the future to add more of these. Mostly casual gamer. Yeah. It'll be really interesting if you either join the playtest or when the game finally comes out to see, do you like challenge mode? Because I am making it more casual for sure. And I am curious if we hit the mark on that one. Start each run with level 1 increased appetite. Increases the maximum level of increased appetite that will be offered to you during a run to 5. And then grants quicker strike level 1 to the rogue. Yeah, interesting. All right, so we got rid of the descriptions. I just did the same thing times 3. And then we're not checking that stuff in. Refactor meta perk descriptions to base classes. They're all formulaic, so they may as well only be defined in one spot. Okay, done with that. After, I want to make a new perk class like player ability without clone. Does player ability have a clone? It doesn't. Does it need one? It probably does. Anything that has parameters wouldn't be able to set this. Or generated abilities, I guess. This isn't generated, though. Wait, so then... Wait a sec. Let me think about this. Clone would work on this then, wouldn't it? I think it would. I think there's no reason for clone to not be here. Because each one of these abilities is always the same. I think we just delete this. It's never called, so if I delete it, it's not going to even be obvious that I deleted it. But yeah, I think we get rid of it. Where are the other base meta perks? Granting adventure ability. That's the one I'm already on. So granting perk. And then granting higher level. New perks soon. New meta perks. So let me run this and then I can show you. And hey, Dark. Is it working? Yeah, cool. Okay. So yeah, when you're in challenge mode and you click this perks button, you're not even in a run yet. So these are meta perks in that they'll affect a run, but they won't do anything like right this instant because there's no game yet, right? So yeah, we've got 3 categories now that are possible. Granting a specific perk at the beginning of a run, so that's category 1. Allowing for a higher level of a perk offered during a run, and then granting an ability to an adventurer during a run. So like, let's say we pick this one, you can now see there are 5 levels of increased appetite there. And if I can't refund the points because of how I gave them in the first place. But if I change this to be reputation equals 1,000. No, wait, that doesn't work. It's got to be total reputation. Oh, man. I probably didn't do that in time. Did it work? No, I didn't do it in time. Yeah. Oh, man. Now it doesn't know that I changed this. Yeah, I should have just waited. Whoops. All right. Yeah, so now we can refund. So yeah, we get our perks. So this says grant quicker strike. So if we pick this, then any run we start, the rogue is going to automatically have... I'll just start again. Hey, Luca. Name is Ace. I need to hire the rogue. Or we need to start with the rogue so I can prove that this is working. There we go. Yeah, so they start with quicker strike level 1 now. Which means they start at level 2, which is kind of cool. It's all working. Points well spent, you say? I think those are the only ones I can't refund. As I'm highlighting a message because Twitch knows for sure that it was redeemed already. Absolutely worth it. What code editor am I using? I'm using VS Code. Do they stay forever or are they session only? They stay forever. So that's part of in the today command, the how we're making the game easier. We've done pretty much everything. We just haven't filled out the content. Yeah. So add meta progression. And that's what this is. It doesn't get saved yet. So I mean it's not working yet. But yeah, the way I plan on it working is you'll start level 0. Maybe you'll start with level 1. Depends on whether we allow you to skip to level 1. But level 0 will be the tutorial. You'll start a run. You'll complete it. And then you'll get some amount of reputation. So we got 240 here. So that gave us 2 perk points. And now when we go up in difficulty and we, get a gold medal on the 5th level, we got 1,000 perk points. Or 1,000 reputation, I mean. So now we get a bunch of perk points. We have 102, and this will eventually be like a whole bunch of things in here. And you'll get whatever things you wanted, and you can respec if you want. Personal project. I'm working as an indie game developer. Yeah, this is my job. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Just remove the clone functions. Yeah. Remove clone functions from meta perks. They're never called, but they also shouldn't fail since the abilities aren't generated / parameterized. Nice hoodie, thanks. Okay, and then I wrote that maybe I should rename trade-off ability. I don't think this is very important right now, but let me see what it says. Trade-off ability, part of a trade-off choice. I think it's really just that it's a generated ability. I do think we should probably rename that, but I'll save that for later. Actually, why save it for later? If I'm going to do it ever, I should just do it now. So yeah, instead of trade-off ability, I guess we call this generated ability. So an ability that is generated and potentially parameterized. Wait a second. If you can generate different ones, then that means it is parameterized. So can be parameterized and is potentially different from other things, but isn't guaranteed to be that way. So if we look at trade-off abilities, yeah, like this one, this is not parameterized, right? It is not. Generate doesn't do anything. In fact, do we have to even override it in that case? It's abstract, so yes. Although we could provide a default, that doesn't matter. An ability that can contain... Wait a second. Do we ever refer to trade-off ability specifically outside of, I guess, this folder? So if I cut out trade-off abilities here, if I cut out all of these, wait. Let's do it this way. There. So now we have 3 files. The base, now we have 2 files. This doesn't matter. So now we have 1 file. So what do we ever care that it's a trade-off ability specifically? Because there's a can generate. There must be a generate somewhere too. Yeah, can generate and generate. Those are the reasons why we need that. So maybe we should call it generated ability. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we got to just come up with a comment for that. So an ability that can be parameterized. Yeah, this class is intended to be used as part of a trade-off choice in challenge mode since we need to generate different powers, different strengths, or in magnitudes, yeah, different magnitudes of some of the abilities. Also, can magnitude be negative? Is that a... No. Refers to the side of the length of a vector. Okay. So what's the word for magnitude that can be negative? I guess size or length. I'll just say since we generally need to generate different magnitudes for trade-off abilities. Also, some some trade-offs. I wonder if the rest of this is needed. Some abilities will only be able to be positive or negative. Some may be parameterized such that cat to level 1 because of how the game presents them to the player. Okay. Yeah. Working almost exclusively in TypeScript for a little over a year now, and it's kind of grown on me. Feel more confident in my Python freehanding than my TypeScript freehanding, but I don't hate TS the way I did when I first started. Yeah, I think that as you gain more knowledge, things that were daunting at some point should feel less daunting. So it's good that you're gaining some mastery with that. Hey, Wendy, hey, Codex. Scalar is a magnitude that can be negative. Scalar with an O? I've only heard of scalar with an A. Oh, it is scalar with an A. Okay, yeah. Having only magnitude, not direction. Yeah. The reason I wasn't trying to be pedantic there, but there are things like, you know, dividend, divisor. There are a lot of things that have div at the beginning. So you're like, oh, this has to do with division, but you're not sure how yet unless you hear the rest of the word. I wasn't sure scalar had like a like functor sort of thing. All right, so let's see if this makes sense. An ability that can be parameterized. This class is intended to be used as part of a trade-off choice in challenge mode since we generally need to generate different magnitudes. I'll say typically so I don't have some weird phrasing there. Need to generate different magnitudes for trade-off abilities. Yeah, I think the rest of this is fine. So now we just call this generated ability. And then we need to rename the file itself, which we do through Godot. Trade-off ability. Oh, there's a whole there's a whole folder called trade-off abilities though. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Generated ability. Okay, so now we just search for the word trade-off and make sure that they all make sense. So I guess anything that's inside of that's fine. Wait, what? Why does that still exist? What? What's happening right now? Hang on a second. Trade-off. Okay, I think it's just because I had the tab open still. Yes, that's gone. So I don't care about that. I don't care about any of these. And did that just break? Why is this happening? Fine, I'll copy this somewhere else. Actually, you know what we could do? We could just search for all of the ones that these should all be in a row. Yeah, there they are. So now we can just go to the last one and delete them all. Okie dokie. So what are we left with? Town perk choice tracker. God, why is this so weird? What is going on? There. Num trade-offs presented is showing that. That's all fine too, I think. Generated ability, new trade-off perk choice. Yeah, I think this is good. You just call it ability. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is fine. Why is this here? Oh, because we need to fetch whether you have the ability. Okay. So this is a very large diff, all because I renamed a file. And I guess we need to gut this and probably this. Yeah. So is it worth checking this in just to rename trade-off ability to generated ability? I think it's slightly clearer. I think I'm going to keep it. Rename trade-off ability to generated ability. I think this is just slightly clearer what a trade. This makes it just slightly clearer what a generated ability is. I also updated the comment. I did not update all references to trade-offs since I think those are still clear as is. Okay. So still adding fixtures, add meta perks. Yeah, let's go take a look at the next one. So we're done with this one. We're done with this one. We're done with this one. That's easy. That's easy. That's probably easy. That is gonna, how's that gonna work? Farm starts with X mature crops. Let me think about this. This would have to be a perk, but that doesn't show up in the UI. Because we don't have an icon for it. And I don't want to add an icon for it. Yeah, that's probably fine then. What about this stuff? Start with X adventurers, start with X workers. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done with the fixtures. So now we would just code a bunch of these. And that should be pretty easy, but we got to figure out which ones we want. Okay, well, as mentioned, this is going to be the hard part, is the figuring out. Then the coding should be very, very simple. So we have all of these different perks in the game. And we could make a meta perk for any number of these that allows you to start with some level of these perks. We got to be a little bit careful here because the more of these you get, the more money you're going to earn during the game. The more money you earn during the game, the faster you'll burn through the rest of these. So we eventually probably need there to be just more regular perks in the game. So more of everything. Meta perks, regular perks. So let's come up with a list of the ones we need to add. Quick move menu. Granting abilities. So quick move menu. What else do we have? Max customers. Do I want something that starts with more customers? I don't think I want to change this. I don't think I want to change the speed either. I think the beginning of the game should be slightly slower. Cloning, I don't want to touch that. Shiny loot, kind of the same thing. Don't want to touch that. Worker speed, no. These things I probably do want to add. More potion storage, armor, weapon, and the warehouse. At least a little bit of each of those. Okay, now garbage slime perks. What do we have? We already added faster hunger. Critical eats, auto eat. I think auto eat would be good. Yeah. Slime auto eat. One level of that maybe. Fishing pond max fish. Can we make the customer wave into a meta perk? Like, you mean like 5 different customers coming in at once? Yeah, we could do that. There are many different, so like let's say we come up with a positive thing in the game. The question is going to be, I did that. Going to be, is it a perk, a meta perk, a twist, a positive twist, or, yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess that. And I don't think the answer is always going to be clear. But I think we're going to need a good amount of all of these things. So let's say we did add something like a customer wave. You get, 5 customers every 10 minutes or something like that. This could go in any one of these things. It almost makes me wonder if the twists should just be negatives, but I think they'd feel worse if they were just negative. Also, I like twists. I don't care what people say. They're sticking around. All right, so more eggs, glowy fish. I think we need some of this stuff here. Actually, flimsy fish. Starting with that, people would probably love that. But I think having a meta perk for it makes the fishing pond too good. So yeah, I don't think I want to do that. But the more eggs one, I guess we could do. More fish eggs. All right, crop variety for sure. Farm size. What else? That's probably fine. Maybe harvesting efficiency. I actually don't think I want to grant that one. All right, enchanter perks. Maybe the first two. Mana crystal and entropic magic. And then the treasure perks. We need a couple of these too. Key rarity is super good. And 8 keys is also really good too. It's possibly too good. Maybe just key rarity for now. Maybe 1 treasure chest display. Potion armor, weapon drop amounts. We can modify the loot amounts, yeah, but we need to make something special for that. These are all things that I already have the mechanism, and we're just going to go add in a bunch of these, and they should just work. All right, so those are meta perk granting abilities. Grant abilities. Hey, Headless Headhunter. How'd the stream go? I was going to say, it's not quite meeting time. A lot of times you raid right before like an hour mark. But yeah, thank you. Let me type out your name here. There we go. Hey, I hope everyone's doing well. I've been working on this new mode in Skeleseller called Challenge Mode. And it's sort of like Slay the Spire in that there's this ascending level of difficulty modifiers that you can add. But unlike Slay the Spire, there is a way of totally offsetting these. So you will get these meta perks that will increase the ease at which you run through a higher difficulty level. So it's like you increase the difficulty level and you also increase how quickly you can get through it. So they should kind of stay balanced with each other. Stream schedule was a little chaotic until the 27th. Streaming well, got a raid around. Oh, totally fine. Yeah. Thank you again. Hope you have a good day. And welcome in, everyone. Yeah, we're coming up with perks to add to this screen. Right now, I only have 3, and 3 is not enough. And we came up with however many this is, like 15 or something. And I want to come up with, yeah, maybe some perks can go up to higher levels. So add meta perks that increase the levels, the max levels of abilities. So garbage, slime, hunger, that one for sure. Pretty much anything that we added a lot of max levels for, or a lot of higher levels. I don't know an easy way to find them all. Oh, I think I know an easy way to find them all, actually. We have a max level deferred to virtual property thing. If I do this, we'll find all the ones that we changed them for. Why is that even the case? I see. Farming crop growth. Farming crop growth. Is that it? Town perk customer speed. There are only 3? Oh man, okay. Well, I mean, I guess we could add more. All right, what other categories do we have? Adventure, start with an ability. Add meta perks that start adventures with specific abilities. I actually want to take out the rogue one I did. All right, so which adventurers do we want to start with an ability? Ooh, that's a bug. All right, let's take a picture of that. Just go file a bug on this. The adventures screen overlaps the end of challenge mode screen. Repro, win the game even via cheating. and press T on the keyboard to open the adventurers pane. Yeah, great. Due by September 14th. That's never happening. Go change that. As long as it's the end of October, I'd be fine. Actually, probably mid-October there. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go look at the abilities, continue playing. So mage, anything that the mage should probably get. No, I don't think so. Witch Doctor. Zombie Link could be interesting, but I think we just need to buff classes that otherwise are kind of bad. I don't think any of these are worth doing. Probably none of this either, except maybe we could give you Survival Instinct on the Warrior. Well, less than 25% health, decrease all damage taken. It would just make the Warrior a lot better. Buff them all. I mean, we could do that. We could just give everyone one ability. I don't know if this would make them too strong, because this guarantees that once they're at a higher level, that a quarter of their life bar is going to make them take less damage. All right, Mushy, let's take a look. Invigorate probably is a must. Where is that? No, not that one. The one that says you attack faster. Yeah, preparedness. Yeah. All right, well, that one we're definitely going to do. Dying blow. Frenzy, close. Yeah, at least that one. The cleric, anything? No, I don't think so. Golem. I think we're just adding one for Mushy, and that's it. Oh man. Yeah, I think we're just adding that one. Maybe one of the spirit color ones. Maybe we could say like randomly give you one of the extra spirits, dog, cat, or fairy. Or maybe improved snake spirit. Yeah, the spirit color probably needs one too. I don't know what yet though. Assign a random perk at the start. Yeah, we're gonna do that too. I'm not sure how I want to do it exactly yet, but all right. So which, if we had to give one ability, what would I pick? What does this do? Raise the power of an ally, raise the dodge of an ally, heals an ally. Probably the dog spirit, or maybe this one, improve the snake spirit. Improves the power bonus granted. This one's pretty good too, dual targeting. Empowered spirits have a chance to use their abilities twice. I kind of like that. I think dual targeting. Yeah. Because it makes every spirit potentially do their thing twice, 20% of the time. So the snake would do 20% more damage, basically. And then these other ones would just get better if you unlock them. Yeah, I think one level of dual targeting. Spirits use their abilities more frequently. All right, I don't know about that stuff. All right, so there's that. And then what else do we have here? Now start with X random battle perks. And then specific meta perks. I like the idea. I don't know how we should manifest it. So option 1 would be like start X adventurers with Y random battle perks. Option 2 would be like have a meta perk for each adventurer that you can put multiple points into. So like level 1 would be start with 1 random battle perk. 2 would be 2, and 3 would be 3. Golem may need something. Golem starting with Boulder would actually be pretty interesting. That'd probably be too powerful. Do they have any other damaging abilities? No. They only have Boulder. And Boulder does a lot of damage. Yeah, fine, let's do it. Might as well. If people yell at me, then they yell at me. Golem level 1 Boulder. Spread into other free slots upon dying. Or whenever they're freed up. That is interesting, but I do like how they work already, and their abilities are synergistic. It's just unlikely you get them all. Oh, Motoboat. Thank you for the gifted subs. Man. Motoboat's such a nice person. 126 gifted subs. That's like $40,000. Thank you. Welcome, new subs. You'll no longer have ads. Yeah, so we got to figure out how we're going to do this. So there's option 1, option 2. Option 3 would be... grant X random battle perks across all 10 adventurers. I kind of like that idea. Like distributed across, just to make it clear. Yeah, I like this one. You could have both of these or all of these. You could have one that's just like mushy. Max level 10. Grant level battle perks so that he's actually the best adventurer at some point. While I do think this is interesting, if we evenly distribute them, then the odds of one of your DPS classes getting these are just as good as the odds of a tank getting them. So it actually won't probably matter too much. You know what would be kind of cool is something where, what if we granted X random battle perks to your least often used adventurers? So like we track the stats on what you specifically use, and then grant the perks to the ones you don't touch. So naturally over time, if this changes your decisions, then it's going to change the metrics that you have. So now you're going to, like, maybe your least used one is the Spirit Caller. And you're like, oh my God, they're getting all of the perks now. So you start using them. And then now your least used one is a Cleric. It'll probably bounce between like 2 or 3. But I think that's too much coding. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I think I'm leaning toward option 3. I'm just still trying to figure out what is this doing. We could also say like grant X random battle perks to tanks or something like that. Or put a category here. Maybe it's specifically for like, oh, the Paladin might need something too. I just realized. The Paladin probably needs 1 double strike. So yeah, what if we just said grant random battle perks to Mushy, Cleric, Golem, Paladin, Spirit Caller, Warrior, Witch Doctor. to all the ones who aren't Mage, Archer, Rogue. Some of these are probably still pretty powerful though. And I'm specifically buffing the ones that I think are not very powerful by these, so that it's less likely to be important. Specific meta perks. Yeah, I'll say grant X random battle perks spread across all adventurers. We could also have one that says grant 1 battle perk to your starting adventurer. start with an extra adventurer. And grant 1 battle perk to all of your starting adventurers. Okay, anything else? Start with increased stats. It's kind of what battle perks are doing, except for these aren't just the basic stats of power and fortitude. Battle perks can give you dodge, lifesteal, etc. I don't know. I also do like this idea of this being a meta perk. So normally in challenge mode, you start with just a random adventurer, and maybe that adventurer is terrible. But with this, you'd be able to start with specifically a DPS adventure. I like the idea, but I'm not going to code that yet. Farm starts with X mature crops. Sure. What else? Start with more adventurers, start with more workers. Start with a vault. I think this is really cool. So if we can do this, I think it'd be fun. I don't think there's space for the vault anymore, is there? I think we used to have it here, so we'd have to move it somewhere. And I don't know where we'd move it. We don't really have space. And the treasure room goes up here. Build the treasure room. Yeah, it goes here. Why does this look like trash? Did we never did we never merge this with the environment? I guess we never did. Huh. But anyway, there's space up here for the vault. We could put that there. Yeah, it's always been bad. Yeah, we need to fix that. Now, would the vault be on a quick move menu? Probably not. And it'd just be stuff that you could put there. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. We probably have to move the vault so that it's farther north than it used to be. Okay, so how many is this? Let's copy this into here. Copy as markdown. Hate how that copies. All right, anyway, that. So 28. So that would give us 28 meta perks. That's a pretty good starting point. Yeah, even just having like 20, I think is a pretty good starting point. This does not allow for a lot of specializing, though. Like there's some stuff that helps the farm, some stuff that helps the fishing pond, some stuff for your adventurers, but it's not like you're going really deep on the garbage slime or something. You are just picking some things that'll help you out. Almost to the point where I wonder if this is even interesting. And that's again, part of what playtesting will suss out. Like, all of these are good. You'll eventually want them all. None are insane. Like, oh my god, the farm starts out slightly bigger. I'm gonna win every single time now. I think the storage ones are pretty good though. This is where specializations were kind of interesting because we really could push things to their limits. All right, well, time to code all of these, right? Yep. This is where bricklaying comes in because this is not going to be fun. All right, so let's add all of these. Meta perk grant, quick move menu. We want these for all of this stuff. Yeah, we're gonna code all of these at once. Grant potion storage. Armor. Yeah, nice. Warehouse. Meta perk grant. Slime. Auto eat. Probably should have garbage slime in there, huh? Not my free quick move menu. Oh yeah, I gotta turn that off by default. Turn this off by default and make sure it shows up as a regular perk that can be offered if you don't have this already. Hey, Sonny. Have you ever had a problem with your keyboard that it doubles the key presses? I have a Logitech keyboard and it drives me crazy sometimes. What should I do? I do have that problem occasionally, and it's just a problem of the keyboard getting dirty because I have a cat and it doesn't really have like a proper case. So this blue material that you see here is the circuit board. So if I can just show you, I guess. Like this is just the soldering that I did for this. So it's very thin. And yeah, that means that dust can get in there really easily. So yeah, every once in a while, probably about once a month or two, I'll take off all the keys, get some canned air, spray it, and then like wipe everything down. And that almost always fixes it. So just clean it then. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, granted, that might or might not be the problem that you're experiencing. There are lots of reasons that can cause a key to double actuate. And yeah, dust and dirt is just one of them. Could be a faulty switch. Is that a Kibio iris? This is a corn, and it's something I made. Let me see what the iris looks like. Yeah. It's similar. The iris has 4 thumb keys, it looks like, and it has, well, maybe you can customize this, but it has an extra row and an extra column. Yeah. I don't remember you fixing the bug that a lot. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I would need to fix that too. Also need to fix the issue that lets you use it regardless of whether you have it via keyboard shortcuts. Okay, grant max fish, grant more fish eggs, grant crop variety, grant farm size. Cool. Yeah, I like this keyboard a lot. Unfortunately, if anyone knows enough about electronics and can like help me, I would really appreciate it. I have the LEDs working on the left half of the keyboard, but I don't have them working on the right half. And if I like flex the board a little bit, they turn on. So these lights just turned on now. But then eventually it's gonna break. How do I diagnose what's wrong here? Like I have a multimeter. I don't know what to do. And I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to hardware. So yeah, if someone can like reach out to me on Discord or something. Because I want to fix this and I fixed it with a left half somehow. I know it's a bad solder connection. That's not what I'm asking. I like how do I find what's bad? Because I just resoldered a bunch of stuff I think yesterday, and like clearly I didn't fix it. But yeah, I don't know what to do to find out which particular piece is wrong. And I imagine not that hard to figure out. I just don't know what to do. Should probably just ask ChatGPT at this point. Okay, so grant quick move menu. So all these things that grant a particular thing. Let's go look at grant increased appetite. We're going to call this grant quick move menu. Quick move menu. All right, what is this quick move menu? That's its own icon. Nice. All right, requires nothing. Max level is 1. Perk to grant is going to be item actions menu. Grant quick move menu. That's it. It kind of makes me think that we should have one file that just defines all of these things and maybe does it by reading through something. I think what I'm trying to say here is like There's a bad connection. I know that. How do I find it using presumably a multimeter? It's hard. You basically need to poke components under a microscope. Hey, ABC. There's no easy way to figure that out. Because when I had a problem with diodes, I could just poke at stuff with a multimeter, and I found out which one was wrong and then fix that one. And I'm assuming that's what's bad here too. Like I probably just soldered something poorly. But there's never been a problem with the keyboard functionality, just the LEDs. Do you have a diagram data sheet showing connection paths? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to break constantly because I don't have any of the abilities defined. So I guess we need to do this for all of them first. But really all of them should be very easy to do. It's just be like grant potion storage. I think this is... There's no potion storage? What did I call that? Potion, more storage potion shop. And this requires, is there even a shop thing here? Building ID? No, then just say none. Perk to grant potion storage. Cool. And then what is that called? Because I want to take the same name from there. Expanded potion shop. Item action menu is what? Quick move menu? Yeah. Okay, so now armor and weapon. This is probably stupid. Yeah, this is probably stupid. Like if this is all I'm going to do, I really should just have this be data driven. Then again, let's just test it first and then we can worry about that later. Because this will take another, what, like 20 minutes to add all of these, if even that. Have their own power connection, which should be visible in the datasheet. If it's the entire board, it's likely a positive connection in and not the negative from each LED. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to figure out which LED is not lighting up, and that the first one that's not lighting up is the problem. I just got to figure out how to solder it correctly. Oh well, I'll probably just never touch it again. All right, so what do we have next? Grant armor storage, armor weapon warehouse. Armor. So just search for potion and rename it with armor. And then weapon. And then warehouse. Grant warehouse storage. More storage warehouse. Requires a warehouse. That's not even a thing. There's some warehouse thing. There it is. All right. Where is that? Expanded warehouse. And for the potion stuff, though, it's expanded potion shop. Did I do that? Yes, I did. Okay. All right, so those should be done. Next up, innate keys. Grant innate keys. Innate keys. All right, so the icon ID is there. This is the treasure room. Meta, grant innate keys. Why is it not showing up? Huh? Why isn't that showing up? Oh, whoops. It's not even a thing. I'm looking at the wrong spot. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I have a hard time communicating even, I guess, what's wrong, because my understanding of things is, I guess, different from probably the reality. Garbage slime auto eat. So meta per grant. Grant garbage slime auto eat. Auto eat. Okay, what is the icon for that? It is Apple Core. We're going to probably have that a million times here. Cool, requires a garbage slime. Perk to grant is that. Grant seek food. Now what's this problem? Oh, there it is. Okay, how many more of these do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that's not too bad. Grant max fish. Yeah. Yeah, this is really tedious. But what are you going to do? What's it called? Fishing pond max fish? Many fish? Many dots. All right, requires the pond. Perk to grant is many fish. Nope, it's not called many fish. It's called more max fish. Seriously? And it's called max fish. Grant max fish. Cool. Next up is more eggs. Grant more fish eggs. Hey, nice. Just filling this stuff in. Fish eggs. That is called fish eggs here. Wrong one. Good. This one is there. And then what is it called? Extraction. Good. Next up is crop variety. Yeah. This is not supposed to be fun. Just to be clear. And as mentioned earlier, we probably want to parameterize this so that I'm not making a new class for every single one of these if all I'm doing is changing a few of these things. But it's just not worth doing that right now. This is crops. Man, I keep changing the wrong thing. Own handheld game console, really? Did you make your own game for it too? Crop variety. So that sounds really cool. Requires the farm and grants you crop variety. Public repo, cool. Are there pictures? And can you link it? Grant farm size. This is grant clear rocks, technically. I'm going to call it grant farm size, I guess. Because I've been fast and loose with the names here. All right, what is farm size clear rocks? Oh, it is called farm size. That's probably why I did that. Okay. Is that broken rock? It's called clear rocks. Game console. Oh, neat. I bought one of these at one point. And I made a game too. You probably read about it. Except for mine was a touchscreen, so I didn't need this stuff. Wow. Yeah, this looks like it's a fun project. Hey, by the way, did you ever get all the answers you wanted from the inspecting, sleuthing into my life? I'm so curious about the context for that. And you said I have more to look into. All right, mana crystal. So we have 4 more of these. Mana crystal, grant mana crystal. At least it's getting a little bit better about doing these automatically. At least it looked like it was. All right, what does mana crystal take in? Mana, more mana? What did I call this? What did I call this? There it is. Mana crystals, and it's called more mana. Grant more mana. So this is the enchanter. More mana. Mana crystal. There it is. Then entropic magic. Grant entropic magic. Sure would love it to just do these things for me. Where is this? There it is. It's called entropic magic. Okay. Enchanter, entropic magic. Oh, no, type it for me. Okay, cool. How you went around setting up a business and protected your websites from a legal perspective through things like privacy policies and terms of use. I see. I have some notes that I exposed on that stuff, although I might not have made them public. I know I took notes. No, I don't think I made it public. Yeah, so the short story is the original business, I paid a lawyer a bunch of money to start the business and set me up with all the legal stuff. So this was contractor contracts, I think a EULA for botland or something like that, and maybe a privacy policy for it. And then, wait, no, one of these things, I don't remember. Anyway, when I was revamping whatever the privacy policy was or whatever thing I didn't have, I looked at how to do this stuff and I came up with a bunch of notes. And Rymu did the same thing on his stream for the game he was working on at the time. You know, a lot of what I learned through doing stuff through my own business is people don't care about small businesses in terms of like fines / penalties in general. And then a lot of people are just doing things wrong, especially when it comes to consumption taxes. Man, the laws are like crazy on this stuff. So it used to be wherever you have Nexus is where you'd have to charge sales tax. And then that changed because the internet became too popular. And now every single state in the US, well, not every single one, there are not, you know, unique laws for every single state, but every state could have their own unique law. And some of them, it's like you hit a certain threshold of how much money you've made there. It's whether you have Nexus there, it's some other set of things. So it's like there's a state, I don't remember which one, where when you sell even $1 of something, you need to then remit the sales tax to their government. And like small business doesn't have the resources to do that. They got to rely on somebody else to do that basically. And then how do they know they're getting it right? But guess what? That state's not going to come after you if you sold $5 worth of stuff. They don't care about that. So most people just ignore it completely. And when they make a ton of money, then they get fined. And then they pay the fines and then they figure out how to do things correctly. And I think that's how it works for a lot of things. How many sites out there have a privacy policy that is illegal or doesn't make sense or can't be enforced or they're just actively violating their own privacy policy? Like you wouldn't know that stuff. And getting that stuff to be accurate from the get-go is also difficult for a small business to do because it's diverting resources that they have. So I was reading about something recently where, what was it? Anthropic, I think, is paying out like 1.5 billion, I think it is, for how they obtained books to train on. They pirated the books. That's the short story. And they got fined a crazy amount of money. But people were kind of arguing online, like, should they have paid for all the books ahead of time and then been slower to market and then possibly not gain any value from it, et cetera, et cetera? Who knows what would have happened? Maybe that would have cost them some number of millions of dollars, but those millions might have been, how would you get the money for that? Like, what if you're not making any money to begin with? So anyway, I don't know. I think this stuff is all very tough. And unfortunately, I think that erring on the side of doing things wrong is actually the correct thing to do. And yet I don't follow that myself. I try to do things correctly, and I think it slows me down a lot sometimes. It's been one of my concerns, that and supporting botland, for example, could have been a nightmare in theory since it was in the browser. Yeah, I think anything that has a lot of platforms, support is difficult for. I think the other thing that makes it tough is unless you're going to start a company or start a dedicated group of support people up, that you just kind of have to rely on the community. I think gamers are pretty good about that sort of thing. Like, hey, I'm hitting this error in the game. What do I do? They'll go search Reddit. They'll go search forums. They'll search Steam. They'll search maybe even bad reviews sometimes. Not explicitly. They might just find it through Google. But still, it's like, oh, it only takes one person in the community to solve that problem for everybody. All right, I have 2 more of these. Key rarity and more chests. Grant key rarity. So I don't know. Man, I don't know what this is supposed to be called. This is key rarity. Nice. That is what I'd expect. It's on the treasure room. Key rarity. And then what's it called? Special keys. And then the final one is grant treasure chest displays. Good. What is that? Chest displays. There it is. More treasure chest displays. And what's it called? More treasure stands. Okay. Displays. Grant more treasure stands. Okay, have I done it? I think I've done it. Basically lining up with the conclusions I made for myself. Yeah. Yeah. And I can answer more if you ever want to share what it is you need to support or are thinking of supporting. The other thing about supporting different platforms, like I feel like my sort of biggest lesson that I've learned throughout all of this is what is an MVP? And not literally what is an MVP, but like what is your specific MVP for any particular realm? And also, how do you ensure that there's product market fit for that MVP? These 2 things are what let you know whether you should even be investing more into a business. So for example, you mentioned support and presumably mentioning some platforms. Maybe it's, browser or OS or some other set of configurations here. It's like, should you even expose your application or game to many platforms at first? Do you even know it's going to be successful? Because I think this is the classic problem of unlimited resources. You ideally want everything, but you can't get everything. So what do you prioritize your time and your resources toward? And for some games, it's going to be like, well, we need a mobile platform. Like, we cannot live without it. That's where our bread and butter is going to be. And for other games, it's going to be like, throw it out the window. If we eventually get mobile someday, then great. Maybe it'll represent some more money. It's kind of how I feel for Skeleseller. In fact, I'm not even sure a mobile version of Skeleseller ever makes sense. It might, but I think what people would want out of a mobile version of the game is like a way longer form version of Skeleseller. Because like, you could just check in for 5 minutes every day, and I don't want to make that game. Okay, so now we add in all of these. Delete that and that. Okay. Ability ID dot equals new. Let's just make them all cost 10 for now. And then let's give you a bunch of perk points. How do I do that? Title screen. Yeah, new perk points equals 100 and total reputation equals 1,000. Wait, is that right? No, it's got to be 10,000. I think. So now the game should build. Ideally, all the icons make sense. Ideally, everything works. We got to test that out, of course. The game built. That part's nice. Wow, look at this. This looks a lot different when there's a lot of icons here, huh? All right, so are all the icons correct? Let's look at these. Grant quick move menu. Oh, it says start with level 1, but level 1 is the only level. Oh, is that the only one that has that problem? It's literally the only one that has that problem. Okay, well, let's write that down. Tooltip says, tooltip for the meta perk says, no, what's going on? Why do I always open Apple Music? Whoops. Start with level 1 quick move menu. But there's only one level. What's my next game after this one? It's going to be Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. It's going to be like a single player adventure / puzzle / comedy game. Probably. That's my plan, at least. How do you keep up with that to-do list? I feel like with programming, the list just keeps getting bigger, never smaller. I mean, that's how every to-do list works. It always keeps getting bigger. And I just slowly remove things from it. Like in challenge mode over the last month and a half, I've gotten 36 pages of to-do items done. All of this stuff has been finished. And yeah, we're just going to keep chipping away at it. Comedy game? Yeah. So this is kind of my mentality around this stuff, right? Like, it's the bricklaying mentality. If you want to get this stuff done, you just need to keep laying brick after brick doing it. At what point do you say the game is complete then? I think a game is complete when it feels complete. And that's different for every game. So Scala Seller, for example, we essentially have two major components. We have the base game, and then we have challenge mode. So could we have said the game was complete after just making a base game? And for a certain price, we probably could have, yes. If you charge, let's say $5 and you get maybe 5 hours of game out of it, then yeah, people would probably be like, yeah, that was a good value. I like that. I had fun playing that. But I wanted to charge at least $10. And I actually want to target, I think, 15. And that's where challenge mode came in. So we probably could have said the game was done a while ago, but then people wouldn't have been able to replay it. Aren't you removing the finished to-dos? In this case, I'm just archiving them to a different section of the document. Some of them I outright delete, but it's because I have like many different to-do documents here. I'm just trying different things as I go. Hey, Sully. All right. So going back to this, so that one looked a little weird. How do these other ones look though? Expanded potion shop, expanded armor shop, expanded weapon shop. That's all correct. Expanded warehouse, good. Seek food. Oh, and those icons are right too. Potion, armor, weapon. Yep. Seek food. It's an apple core. It's got seek food there. I guess we can just make sure that all the names match. I don't even need to put any thought into this, do I? Oh, that's wrong. That's this crop variety. Yeah, so clear rocks is not right. Grant farm size. Grant farming there. Okay, so that one's fixed. Grant more mana, entropic magic, special keys, and more treasure sands. Okay, so now do all the icons match? Max fish, extraction, crop variety, clear rocks, more mana, entropic magic. Yep. Yeah, cool. I tried Game Maker, and I again very disappointed with its flat object design. Very hard to do UI and complex objects. I've never tried Game Maker myself, but have you tried Godot? All right, so now let's restart this and let's try granting some of these perks. We should technically just test all of them, I guess. Which is going to be a little bit annoying. It's interesting watching your view shift on that. Yeah, the view shifted because of reviews. People, I mean, even if you look at the Steam reviews right now, I don't know how obvious this is going to be, so maybe my little demonstration here is going to fail. But let's say we just scroll to a random review. No, that one doesn't talk about it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Well, anyway, people have made it clear that they want more of this. And also, I kind of thought about it, and I thought there is the ability to do more. Like, there are probably some games you get done with, and you just think, I don't even know how we'd add more game to it. But yeah, this one had some clear design space left. Tried Unity, but dang, it was very slow. I was waiting 15 seconds for each change. Tired of waiting to see changes. Yeah, give Godot a shot. Godot and GDScript. It's really fast to make changes. It's really fast to get into. Anything you see in Scala Seller is obviously possible in Godot because I'm using Godot. So if you're like, oh, I want a UI that looks like that, like, yeah, that's good to go for you. Oh, you're already using Godot. My bad. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, so we're gonna try some of these things out. We already have the quick move menu, so getting this is actually kind of pointless. In fact, it might even cause a bug. Let's try it. It didn't cause a bug. And yet I'm guessing we have the quick move menu. Yeah, we do. Okay. All right, so refund my points. Let's get expanded potion shop. Yeah, I'm just going to try these one by one. I know this is tedious. The other thing I kind of want to do, which is going to be a little bit harder to do, is see, does it stop me from getting that same perk? Because it should, and I think I tested this. So we need to find the potion shop, which is never going to show up, is it? There's the armor shop. Oh, come on. Yeah, the odds of finding this are apparently very low. I just need it to show up. Come on. Wow, really? It's been a lot of choices so far. There it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's level 2 that's offered, and when I choose it, we get 6. Yeah, perfect. All right, well, as mentioned, we're going to just keep trying this. Let's do the other ones. So now the weapon, or the armor shop. Start a new run. We're giving the armor thing. Cool. Now the weapon shop. Start a new run. Giving the weapon shop. Okay, refund all of those. The warehouse. The warehouse we don't start with, though, so we need to build it. There it is. You have one distinct perk for the warehouse already. Yeah, nice. Wow, it's all working great. Who would have thought? Okay, grant seek food. We don't start with a garbage slime. So again, we need to build it. And now we put some items down and we speed it up. And it should eat one of them. Yep, cool. All right, now max fish. Is this even worth doing? Oh, such a waste of time. We need the fishing pond now. There it is. Maximum should be 8. It says 3. Oh, right, this is a bug. Yeah, this is a bug that I think Codex found. There's the bug where getting this perk before building the pond doesn't work. Oh, wait a second. It should always just show here. What am I doing? It should be very easy to test. All right, extraction. Yeah, so there's extraction. That one's too difficult to test on its own, so I'm not going to try that one. Crop variety, this one's pretty easy to test because we just need to build a farm and then get peppers. Yep, there they are, peppers. Cool. I don't really suspect any of these are going to be broken. Let's get both of these now. So, well, no, let's not. We got to do them one at a time, right? So now we need the farm again. Good. And yep, we have a farm that's 3x3. This is pretty cool to see coming together. So more mana. We start with 700 mana now. It's not even offering it to me. There it is. 700 mana. And we should restore what? 4 per second? Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, we just have 3 more to test. Entropic Magic. Which means we need the enchanter again. Oops, it was there. I just didn't get it. Okay, so now I have a 20% chance clicking one of these to get another one. So we need to speed up time. Come on. Ah, there we go. Cool, that worked. And thankfully it was pretty quick, so I didn't need to keep doing it. Special keys. Special keys is another one of those that's pretty much impossible to test. It's a 20% chance. I guess we kind of could. We need the treasure room. And then we need a whole bunch of weapons. And we should see roughly 20% should be special keys. So here it was 50%. So let's go get some chests. There we go. Give him some more items. It's 50% again. Oh, thanks, Sully. Thanks for the resub. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Why is the chance so high on this? 20%? It says 20% chance, but I think it was, what, 4 keys out of 8? I mean, I know how randomness works. I know that's possible. I just want to make sure there's not a bug here. So what about this next set? No, these were all regular ones. Yeah, now they're all regular ones again. Yeah. So it's probably 20%. Okay. So then we have one more to test, and that is more treasure stands. Start new run. Get the treasure room. Got it. And we have 3. Perfect. Wow, this is pretty cool. I mean, it didn't take a super long time to do that. And now we already have a bunch of content. This on its own could potentially be worth testing, except for it doesn't save your progress. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So is this interesting though? Like if I'm playing through this and I'm like, cool, I want to run and I got some perk points. I've got 20. What am I going to put them in? What would I decide to get? I mean, I picked this one for sure. Yeah, maybe I'd get clear rocks and that. Okay, well, anyway, that's not even all of them. But we got to fix these things next. So these are all done. Oops. Okay, and we need to fix these things. Then add meta perks to increase the max levels of abilities. Technically, this one's already finished. Although I wonder what amount we should increase them by. Maybe there should be 1 level in each. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to have quite a lot of things in here. Probably want tabs so that you can pick which specific sections you can upgrade. So like storage and adventurers and whatever, some other things. All right, I think I'm going to take a break and then we're going to come back, commit this, and then work on probably these things, which are kind of just bug fixes. A search bar. I want to avoid having the player type anything. I also think we can do that because I don't think there's going to be too much. Even if we tripled this amount, just having some tabs would probably make it pretty easy. And also, if the costs naturally rise, then it's gonna filter out some of these anyway. Like maybe there's a checkbox saying show only affordable ones, and then we just cut out all the ones you can't afford. But yeah, I'll take a quick break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello, hello. Hope I didn't make you wait too long. Close the game. 2 new players playing. Neat. Okay, so we got to check in what I've done, and then we got to fix up some of these other things that we did too. I am going to... I don't even really think there's much to do here, is it? Yeah, it's just don't check this thing in. Add many meta perks. Okay, so turn off the quick move menu by default. Let's go do that. That should be very simple. Item, actions, menu, done. What if we didn't start you with auto battle? Can you imagine? Because technically now that we have meta perks, there's no reason to start you with both of these things, right? But I feel like they're such high quality of life things. All right, now make sure it shows up as a regular perk. This is going to be player item actions menu. Yep. And then we need to fix the issue. Okay, so this is done. Let's go try this out. So if I just start a run, I will not have the quick move menu. So let's go click some items. Yep, no quick move menu. But if I go into here and unlock it and then start a new run, I now have it. And if I go back and turn that off and start a run, I now no longer have it, and it should show up in here. But I mean, it might take forever. So I'll try. There it is. Nice. Since I'll try another few times and then just give up. Dev doesn't know what they're doing in this game. Don't buy. Wait, what? Oh, from this? From this idea? Yeah. Okay, so fix the issue where it lets you use it regardless. All right, where does that happen? I don't even know where that happens. Unhandled input? No. All right, let's figure out what the key map is called because it'll be easier to search for that. Input map. UI action menu item. UI action menu item. Here it is. All right, button shortcut actions. Unhandled input. Yeah, so we just have choose destination without checking to see if you actually have this thing. Do we get the town? Because we could just check it there. We do get the town. I mean, we could also do this every single time you press a key. So don't we even have something about the item actions menu? Quick move. Where does it show up? Should show. There it is. Get level of ability is greater than 0. And you pressed a thing. So we need to know that you have it. Do we ever do this anywhere else? No, we literally just do it here. As unlocked quick move menu. Yep, that's that. Item actions. Okay, so I want to do this in unhandled input. If you press this and you've unlocked the quick move menu. And that's it. Easy. Easy. So now you can't cheat. Used to be that we didn't check to see if you had unlocked this. So you could always just pick an item and then press 1 and send it to a shop. But now, yeah, it's not possible. And if you do unlock it, nice. Keyboard shortcuts work again. Cool. And then what's the last thing we got to do is fix the tooltip port. Yeah, I know. Many crying faces. Well, look, I got to say this. I think this one in particular, because it's kind of an accessibility thing, we can keep this at a low cost. And if you choose to not use it on a run, then you can just not unlock it, or you can just not use it. But yeah, this isn't going to be some like cost 9,000 points to get this. Hey, Kinslayer. Okay. Stop granting quick move menu by default. It is now offered as a regular perk again if you don't get it as a meta perk. And then this is fix a bug with the item actions menu, quick move. Quick move menu doesn't always work. Quick move menu seems to work even if you don't have the perk. Yep. Okay. Fixed issue with quick move menu. You were able to use it via the keyboard shortcuts even when you hadn't unlocked the perk. Okay. Done. And then the tooltip says start with level 1. Start with level... Huh. Does apparently not say start with level 1. What? Start each run with level 1. Okay, yeah. So this should only be done if you have a level that's greater than 1 of this thing. Start each run with, how about ability, level, and name? So this is the ability name. And then the perk level is what would show, but we need to know that it's correct. Ability, level, and name. Ability, level, and name. Okay, so if perk level is greater than 1, that's actually, I don't even care about that. It's if max level of the ability, if granted ability dot max level is greater than 1, then it's going to be level, perk level. Otherwise, it's going to be that. Yeah, nice. Okay, I think that should work. Thankfully, it's super easy to test. So now it says start each run with quick move menu. I mean, English, but yeah, otherwise the other ones say start each run with level 1 expanded potion shop. Yeah. Yeah, the rest of these are fine. All right, so fixed tooltip for the meta perk. Meta perks which only have a single level will no longer include the level in the description. Cool. Okay, so that's done. And now max fish, there's a bug. We're getting this before building the pond doesn't work. Yeah, I haven't looked into this one yet. And I think we have this somewhere. Fish. Pond can have the wrong tooltip in challenge mode. Context, I think the problem is when you upgrade max fish before building the pond. See if any other perks have this problem. Okay, so max fish just starts at the 0 element here and should be updated at some point. Why do we do this? This doesn't add up. Why do we do this? We can compute this from the fishing perks, but it's easier to save it to the file so we can load without having to consider abilities at the time. Why would I do that? Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I don't know why. All right, let's get rid of that because that's a waste. So maybe we make some like private void update max fish and just set this and say update max fish. Why do we have to pass in the level of this stupid thing? Town dot player abilities, get level of ability, max fish. Okay. Now we just do this on init and then unload. And then delete max fish from here, which should not break save files because we're going to try to load and we'll have an extraneous property as opposed to a missing property. All right, how do we test this now? We go to here and get max fish. So now it's 8. We start a run, we build the pond. We need to be offered the pond. There it is. And now it should say 8. Yes, perfect. And if I right click this, it fills it with 8. And if I save and load, it's probably going to break. But if I do this from a new game, it should work. So let's try this out. We get that. It's currently at 3. We build that. It is now at 2 out of 8. We load, and it should still be a 2 out of 8. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, everything's working. Great. Oh, wait. One thing I did not test is what happens if we have an old save file. How do we do that? Open save data. Can I just copy this? Something tells me we can't. Also, why is this 21 kilobytes? Not that that's huge or anything, but like. Interesting. I would need to find a save file that has. Oh, no, we don't. What am I talking about? We don't need to do anything special. We can just add in the words max fish or whatever in here, right? Fish, numfish, max, who cares, lol. Yeah, there. I just want to make sure this is ignored, and I'm pretty certain it will be. So I load the game. Yeah. And then if I save, it's going to overwrite that property. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, cool. So we don't need to modify the save version. We don't need to delete people's saves. That is pretty good. So we actually cut down on the code by fixing this bug, but very, very slightly. Fix bug with fishing pond. Did I give Codex a point for that? I wonder. Oh, hey, someone else joined the Discord. Playtest issues. Well, I don't know if I did give Codex a point for that. A.bot.land/points. Let's give Codex another point. And put a comment here saying it's for this copy message link. Most people can't click. Fixes 1157. Cool. Okay. All right, next up. Add meta perks that increase the max levels of abilities. I'm losing steam. There are only so many of these I can do. Yeah, fine. Let's do it. Bricklaying, am I right? Plus, we already added one of these. And no one has this in save data, so I should probably rearrange some of these as well. So higher level increased appetite. So here's what we'll do. We'll move this one all the way down. And this will be 194. And then all of these will be one lower. There. No one will ever know. Okay, so higher level increased appetite. That's already pretty much done. Higher level crop growth. Is that what it's called? Crop growth speed. And customer speed. Higher level customer speed. All right, then set these to the right numbers. Higher increased appetite. This is going to be saved as that. Crop growth speed. It's the well. It involves the farm. It gives you that. And I don't know what we said, change the level to. Maybe, what's the default for this stuff? 0, 1, 2. Yeah, sure. It goes from 2 to 5. Why not? And what did this one go to? Faster, hunger. 1, 2, 3. This should be 3. Okie dokie. I like that. I don't think this needs to be in multiple tiers. I think that's fine. And then we can change this name to match this. What is this called? Well water. Increased. Whoa, whoa. There. And then customer speed is the other one. Okay, so customer speed. Town perk. It's literally called customer speed. I'm guessing that's what, yeah, that's what the name is too. Does not require anything. Max level's 1. Goes from 3 to 5, sure. In fact, if we make these public, we could just get these. Customer speed dot this dot count -1. Per customer speed dot challenge mode count -1. Yeah, we could just do this for all of these. So increased appetite could do the same thing. Except for instead of this now, it's increased or recycler hunger. Yeah, except for that's not what that's named. It's hunger bonus. Good. And then the last one that we have was crop speed. Yeah. Let's paste that here. Go find crop speed. There it is. Speed bonus regular mode. Okay. Okay, nice. Now they're parameterized. All right, does it work? So we have higher level increased appetite and higher level of the other two things, crop growth and customer speed. Okay, increases the maximum level of increased appetite that will be offered to you during a run to 5. So I click this and the tooltip gets bigger. Over here, oh, that's not right. Yeah, that's not right. What's going wrong here? All right, I don't know. But is there a problem with the last one too? Yes, I broke this is what's wrong. Oh, the icons are correct, but yeah, I messed something up. This is obviously what's wrong here. All right, so this should be customer speed. But how did I mess up the well water one? I don't see what I did wrong here. 0, 2, 4. Check if I have it right. Let's speed, unless the other one granted it, which it didn't. Or maybe this is a problem over here. Data, player ability. I don't know. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by this. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. Sorry, I thought that was okay. I'll just debug this instead of hoping that something just jumps out at me. Let's go back to this. Yeah, these are both wrong. Oh, maybe because I never lowered. Yeah, I know what I did wrong. You can't just make the change to this. You need to make the change to the underlying perk. So Recycler Hunger, for example, has this max level code here. Okay, well then here's what we can do. We can go change all these. So crop speed, max level is going to take in the speed list. And the meta perk is going to be higher level of crop growth speed. And then same thing for the final one of these, which is customer speed. Please tell me this is easy. Yes. Nice. Okay, so that should fix this. And then I'd like to not have that copy pasted function be there 3 times. It didn't work. What? Speed list? There's no speed list. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah. What did I do wrong? Right, max level. Oh, the deferred thing? Max level needs to be deferred to virtual property? It already is. Huh, what did I do wrong? What if I click this? Nothing happens. I don't know. I don't know what I messed up. Is this hard-coded somewhere that it shouldn't be? No. Strange. Strange indeed. We're not in challenge mode, just return the speed list count. Otherwise, return the minimum of the count and the max level of what this perk grants. Higher crop level speed. Get that ability, get the current max level. Get the current max level is get the data max level. And then the level of this specific ID. I wonder if this is wrong. I don't know how that'd be possible. Oh, because I don't know. And that's probably gonna get hit a million times, isn't it? What's the ID? Customer speed. All right, I don't really care about any of this. Just turn it off for now. And then go back to the title screen. Open this up, put the breakpoint back in. Then hover over one of these and click it. And then start a new run. Something's already wrong. Oh, it said it's not updating the tooltip again. It's only gets the tooltip once. Huh. I don't know. Do this here, get current max level. I don't think this is being called. Yeah, I don't think this is being called at all. How does it work at all for this perk? And even refunding it works. Something's getting this to change. Nothing's getting this to change. I've made some very easy to overlook error. I don't know what it is. Higher level crop growth speed. Regular mode, challenge mode. These are the right, yeah, they're the right list. Max levels 1, requires the farm. Customer speed. And in the one that's working, which is only one of these, higher level increased hunger. Is that what's wrong? Okay, that's possible. Let me see. No, I don't think so. I'm not actually making any progress right now. I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit longer. Let's look at faster hunger here again. No, I don't think I don't see anything special. Faster hunger. Oh, this slice. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's the big problem there. Okay, I see. I see what we have to do. So we need to just slice this. And then same thing over here. That'll do it. Yeah, it took me a long time. This is why I should make the base class do more of this, I think, so that I can't make that mistake in the future. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I know I'm blocking this with my keyboard camera, but there. So you can only see 2 levels. When I click this, now it shows all 4 levels. This one only shows 3 levels. When I click it, it shows all 5. This one shows 3. When I click it, it shows all 5. When I refund, it goes back to normal. Yeah. All right, well, I'd love to put this into the base class. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, there's no base class. Oh, man. Well, there's a base class, but I mean, there's none that I can use for this in particular. But could I make this some like parameterized function inside the base class? How would this work? All right, let's say public int testeroni. What do we need to pass in? We need to pass in a list of something. List of object. Can we just have it be a list and not even parameterize it? A list of something and then an ability ID. But wouldn't the ability ID be something that this would already know by virtue of it being in the parent class? Yeah. So we don't even need that. So we could just do this, except for you can't make a non-generic list. Generic T requires an argument. What object? And then just copy paste this stuff. List.count. Actually, all we care is the number of items in here. So we don't even need to pass in the list. Although I guess passing in the list is fine. It's a little easier for the caller to do. And then this just changes to ID. And there it is. Okay, so we put this into the base class. And we make this a function protected int get max level when meta perk can alter it. Probably can rename that. And mat.min. Cool, cool, cool. And watch this. This now turns into return this with the hunger bonus list. Wow, look at how easy that is. Except for you can't convert this because what? Can convert from a list float to a list object? How do you make a... Ugh. It's like a list T where T is anything. Is that a thing I can do? Type or namespace cannot be found. Constraint cannot be special class object. Hey, barcode. C# list of anything. Any type. How do you do this? All right. That cost me half a forest. List object. Why does that not work then? What? I'm confused. You can't without a cast. Didn't I do this somewhere? Move the where part. What? I didn't know that was valid. Okay, yeah. Does that actually work? T is generic type passed in from caller. Something doesn't work here. But it might not be that. Unable to cast object of type recycler faster hunger into this. Line 29. Line 29 of what? Why? I'm confused about what I messed up here. What did I even do? I changed a couple things, didn't I? Okay, I will give you a point for this, so thank you. But I am clearly messing something else up. Can't cast this to the other thing. It should be just a player ability at this point. I wonder if there's a problem with this class now. I wonder if I just delete. Yeah, let's try something really fast. How about we just change this to just be a list of floats? Is that what recycler hunger passes in? Yes. If that fixes this, then I guess I need to work back to the generics on this, or I don't know, somehow figure out how I'm supposed to do this. No, that still didn't work. Okay, so it's not that. Hey, ABJ, you mind taking a look at my portfolio once? I just launched it. I'm trying to get into software. If you share it on Discord, I could potentially take a look at it. But I'm trying to finish this up, and I don't have too much time. Yeah, it's actually already 3:19. And I don't want to lose my train of thought here. But yeah, feel free to share it on Discord. And when I say Discord, I mean the first link there, the Adam Learns Discord. For what it's worth, by the way, I'll give you this caveat ahead of time. I have not tried to get a traditional job in software since 2020. And my advice may not be super relevant anymore. I know 5 years isn't a super long time for tech as an industry. Or, well, sorry, for anything as an industry, but for tech specifically, it's kind of a long time. What's the error exactly? It's just saying it can't cast. Where's the beginning of this? Enable the cast object to type recycler faster hunger to... Oh, wait. Yeah, wait. Hold on. I know what I'm doing wrong. This requires casting this thing. Okay, I see. Where do I do that? It's not the ID of this. Oh, drat. Okay, it's got to be the ID of the meta perk. Ability ID meta perk altering level. Meta, it's not even meta perk. Well, it kind of is. Yeah, sure. Okay, so pass that in. And now this uses nothing that is a class member. So this could be static now too. And then this needs to change so that it passes in the ability ID of the meta perk. Higher level of increased appetite. And then this can change back to being a T. And then we can run this. Job market has changed a lot. Yeah, and I think AI really accelerated how many people are getting applications and sending out applications. So it's like everyone's flooded at this point. I think it's a real shame because I think as a general problem, I think more of our lives are feeling like they're directed by algorithms. And if you think about it, like way back when, it was pretty much recommendations for products or services. And then it slowly became social media. And now to some extent, it's a job market. It's like at some point you could have submitted your resume somewhere and trusted they had, I don't know, whatever, 20 people applying. You can look through 20 resumes. That's not that hard. You can't look through 2,000 resumes. So yeah, what happens when someone's getting flooded with 2,000 or 5,000 resumes? It's like, what are your odds of you being seen? Thank you. Thank you, barcode. We can never have two of you in chat or else you won't know who I'm talking to. I had to say your specific combination of I's and L's. Did I do this? I don't even remember. I'm losing my train of thought now. Yeah, so here it is. And yes, this worked. Great interpretation. That's what they called them in StarCraft, at least. A lot of people made Smurf accounts. We hired an artist. We had over 7. Yeah. That's one of the stories I remember. And that wasn't so crazy long ago, right? 2023, 700 applicants. This was posting on Fiverr, if I recall correctly. And you just can't look through that many people. I mean, even if it took you 1 minute per person, 700 minutes is 11 hours and two-thirds of an hour. Like, are you going to spend half of a day? This is more than an entire work day's worth of hours. Are you going to spend that long looking through applications? No. Can you even review people in 1 minute? Probably not. So it's like, well, at that point, you just cut down your search space. There's no other way to do it. You're not going to hire people to look through resumes, because then how do you find those people? So crazy. I think we looked through everyone. What? Really? It took 2 of us 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have done that. There's an old joke story that I heard. Maybe it's real. Maybe someone actually did this, where someone's like, "Oh, my boss got a stack of resumes, and they just took the top half of the pile and threw them out and said, I don't like unlucky people." I always think about that. And I think if you are going to cut down your search space, you are essentially saying, I'm not going to hire an unlucky person. It's just hilarious to me. Because, yeah, you probably could have spent some of that 2 weeks just working on stuff. Now, granted, you like the artist that you got, so it worked out well. That's why there used to be such a big importance around degrees and courses, because it helps filter out the massive list of applications. Yeah, but still, at some point, you had to trust your filtering process, I guess. And that's still true. You still need to trust your filtering process. But now you're going to get way more people, and those people are going to pad things out in ways you can't verify. So, for example, if someone says, I graduated from Harvard, at the point that you're filtering out their resume, you can't actually probably even tell if they went to Harvard. You're going to eventually do a background check on them, but probably not at the, like, we just got 5,000 applications phase. And you don't know if the person actually went there or not, or if they did all the courses they did, or if they wrote their resume in the first place. And it's not just some like AI slop clogging the pipes. Okay, so let's finish this up. I don't like this here either. Like, I wonder if what we should do is we should just make an interface for these, and they have to expose which list, like a list of something that they get, and then a perk, and then it knows how to slice this stuff. I don't know. This is at least a good first step, so let's just do this first step for all of these. So recycler faster hunger is one of them. Town per customer speed is another one. And this one is meta perk and this is speed list. So now we delete all those lines. And then the final one is crop speed. All right, nice. Now, if I mess this up, like if I had the wrong ability here, well, I guess we'd find out as soon as we click the tooltip. I'll start slowly getting automated. It's no longer people looking through resumes instead of algorithms filtering, and people only look at like 5 applications. Yeah, and to some extent, that's sort of the promise of what AI was supposed to give us. It's not like, hey, humans are cut out of the loop entirely. It's like, hey, humans can focus on what they want to focus on. The humans cutting out of the loop entirely is like the singularity event. Hey, look, Dev. It is going pretty nice. We've made a lot of progress today. Take a look at this. So now when I click perks, look at how many of these are here. And hopefully these work. Yes, yes, and yes. Nice. Ooh. Looking for the 3D character artist who could animate. Out of 700 applicants, we found maybe 5 people who met the minimum bar has animated character. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How's your day going? Oh my God, I cannot speak anymore. I've got to just stop streaming. How's your day going, Olgo Dev? It's surprisingly hard to say. All right, so are all of these fixed? Cycler, faster, hungry. Yeah, I think so. So in cases where a meta perk can dynamically change the level of an ability while in challenge mode, this function will figure out the proper level to show. So list, any list with a number of things. The list of parameters that changes based on the level of change corresponding to the level of the skill. And the meta perk that alters this perk's level. Abby. Hang on one sec. Abby. Sorry. I hope that wasn't super loud. The chair was still rotating. My bad. Going well, especially since I got half of our year-end performance review stuff out of the way. Can focus a bit more at work now. But you only got half of it done. I mean, congratulations, but I can focus a bit more. Still got to do that other half at some point, right? Yeah, I think this is another one of those things where I don't think anyone on either side of the equation likes that process. Like having to fill out the reviews for yourself, having to do them for your direct reports. It's just a not fun thing. It was the hard half, other half is easy. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that does alleviate the pressure. I'm going to start reporting that when people are like, hey, how you feeling? I'm like, well, I got 10% of a task done, so I can probably ease up now. Okay, looking good. Yeah, looking good. I'd love to not have those slices there. Yeah, so we're checking everything other than this. I should probably double check this one more time. Hard half is reviewing colleagues and managers. Easy half is self-review, which I've been doing throughout the year. Yeah. Reviewing other people, you know, it's like when you work at a big company, I think keeping track of a journal for yourself is a good idea, but you also kind of need to keep track of a journal for everyone else you work with if you know you're going to have to report on them at some point. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to find your insight into their artifacts over the last year. You have emails, you sometimes have documents you kind of reviewed, but you sort of need to write like a positives and negatives document for people. I feel so happy to be in the team I'm on. My company has a ton of daily meetings. It slows down actual work, but I'm in a small team. Just me and the CTO, and we work on whatever's most important. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that idea of a company Like something that can move fast, has process only where it makes sense. People can all kind of be heard and have a say. But it always reminds me of that expression. What is it? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Something like that. And there are certain problems that people want to tackle that you just can't do on your own. Like imagine if a company like Google had 10 employees. Like what would the company do? Because probably half of their products would just light on fire immediately. And then with the remaining, I don't know how many billions of dollars of revenue, like what would they even focus on? Probably ads in like Google Photos or something. I don't know what. What do they do now? I feel like it's mostly maintenance. I think there's still new stuff. I think whenever you look at a company at a high level, it's kind of hard to focus on, but it's like look at any individual product and then just look at sort of the change log of that product. So like what things have happened in Android or Chrome or I don't know, like the Pixel line of products or any other number of things. And it's like things are at least ostensibly getting better in all of those. And if you look over the past 5 years or something, you might be able to find bigger instances of that. Like at what point could you search your photos for like just cat and it'll just find all the cats for you? Or like magic editing in photos or things like that. Like I'm not trying to shove Google specifically. I'm just saying any big company, I think it might seem like they're in maintenance mode when really there probably is innovation happening and it's just harder to find on surface level. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna write down. And I was gonna fill in the journal. Let's do both of these things. So the meta perks that increase the levels of abilities have a decent amount of boilerplate that I'd like to cut down if possible. E.g., I'd forgotten to slice the list in the tooltip, which made it harder to find the bug. Could the ability just enforce this for me? Can it validate the levels of things to make sure they match? Oh, mostly asking for Google, the engine itself. I think with the engine itself, though, even then, it's like if you search for C# generic function or something like that, for whatever reason, it doesn't show now. But there's like an AI section on the left side. Maybe I have to click one of these things. C#, sort, and array. Just want something that, weird. I'm pretty sure I turned off AI on Google. So maybe that's why it's not showing up. But yeah, a lot of the AI stuff is what's new for Google, is what I'd probably say. Because yeah, other than that, everything is pretty similar. But search is a very mature product. So I wouldn't expect like leaps and bounds of differences. I expect like cutting down on fraud. I don't know, like advertising and now AI stuff. Okay, so like added several fixtures for meta perks and then added a bunch of meta perks using those fixtures. Also got the end screen to look nicer. Yeah. Okay, gonna review this one more time, but this time I'm gonna take a slightly closer look at these sorts of things. So this is higher level crop growth speed. We have that, we have the well, we have level 1 of this, requires the farm, gives you this, has the right levels set up. Looks good. Then higher level customer speed, this, the right icon, doesn't require anything, gives you the right thing, has the right speeds, cool. And then one more time. Wait, no, it's a different thing, right? Oh, this already existed, that's why. Yeah, so crop growth speed looks good. Speedless slice, good. This is hunger bonus list. Increased appetite looks good. Yep. Max level customer speed, cool. Added these things in. All right, great. So add 2 more meta perks. These modify the maximum level of some perks. I also changed the ID of the existing meta perk that did this. but that's okay since since no one has a save file with this stuff yet. Also, even if they did, they just click refund points. C# Unity game. This is in Godot. What do the individual devs do when so much is just going through the internal processes and loops to actually get anything done? I feel so good in a smaller company team. Yeah, I think for what it's worth, you do move things forward. It's just that there's a lot more process involved. And I think that process is because of the scale at some of these big companies. Like every company that's been around long enough has been burned by some legal process. So they just have to have been. And at some point you try to avoid those. So you put a certain like legal process on your employees. And it's like, oh, that was done because it's probably saving the company billions of dollars. And it slows down your job, but it makes the company earn more money. And now imagine doing that practically everywhere. Okay, so these three are all done. And now these are the ones that this one I had said could go to level 2. Take out the rogue one I did. I'm not going to do this right now. Just think it'd be boring as a dev. Yeah, I will say on the flip side, a lot of those companies also pay a ton of money. So it's kind of like, well, I'm not working my dream job, but I'm probably making more money than I would make at a different job. So it's kind of a trade-off. But yeah, I feel like I'm certainly in the camp that money's not everything, which is why I'm doing this. I'm making a piddly amount of money on Twitch, and I hope to not make a piddly amount of money on this game. Anyway, let's admire this for a second. So here we have all these perks. We have what? 3, 6, 8, 16, 19. So we have 19 perks so far. And I'm going to add in another few at least. This is probably a good enough amount to get an idea of whether this is fun. But I don't think any of these are like shiny and cool. I think they slowly work up to being that. So I think we're also getting some shape for the rest of the week. Yeah, we still need to figure out the content. Needs saving and metrics. I do think saving is super important. So I think Tuesday should be design saving. Wednesday should be implement saving. And then Thursday should be get back to working on content. Meta perks, twists, and challenge mode difficulty track. Yeah. Man, met up with a lot of old colleagues that left to work in a place that paid way more, and it's super common for them to be miserable. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely did not like working at, well, actually, sorry, I should say I didn't really like working at any of the companies I worked at. I'm not a company person, I think. And I think the best setup I had is I did work at Google for a bit, and there was one specific manager that I liked working for the best. But yeah, beyond that, I don't motivate myself, I think, by working for a big company. And I did it to get some experience and get some money, and I hope to be done with that for the rest of my life. Okay, so anyway, the big thing that we were trying to figure out here, and like I said, we need a playtest, but the big thing is this enough to make the game feel more casual? This general idea, at least. Like, hi, Abby. Abby? She won't come over here. And then I got to make the tutorial as well. Yeah, I think this is definitely something we can launch before the end of next week. What is that day? The 19th. September 19th. And that'll give us enough time to fix some things up. Yeah, I think we're pretty much on track. Mature looking UI. Yeah, we've Quickie Joe did a lot of that, and thankfully this newest set of stuff here has been great. I really like this. Do you use an actual Mac? Yeah, I use an actual Mac. Okay, I'd love to put myself in the shoes of someone who's playing through this, but it's just not really possible right now because there's no balance yet. In fact, I got to write that down at some point to balance this. Balance the perk, balance rep rewards and meta perk costs a bit. Maybe accelerate them slightly, knowing that people are just playtesting. No, I shouldn't do that. Don't accelerate them for playtesters. I want an honest feel of the game. Hey, Cypher. Hey, hang on one second. She's like meowing into the void over there. It's not even food time. Like another hour and 20 minutes. Hey, hang on. Let me make sure everything's okay. One sec. As soon as I got out there, she went into stealth mode. Stop meowing. I couldn't find her. I think she went invisible. Oh, now I hear her. Hi. Hey, cat. Cat. She doesn't look hurt or anything. She just gets hungry around this time. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying, and she's still meowing. Oh yeah, so balancing this stuff, and then also figuring out like, are these difficulty levels actually the right level of jump in difficulty? Difficulty levels an appropriate jump in difficulty. I think the first couple of runs can be a bit more laid back just to get you used to how the games work before they start becoming a bit harder. The ability perk is max. Oh, there she is. Hi. Want to come over? Yeah. Okay. She got so spooked yesterday. Knocked my monitor off the desk. Yes. Wow, she's incredibly soft right now. Okay, come on, cat. So good kitty cat. Good cat. Oh, the best cat. No more work. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's already kind of wrapping up anyway. Hey, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Let me copy your name and shout you out. I was just winding down as little Catzo's over here. How'd your stream go? Oh, she's licking herself. We worked on quite a lot here today. So I'm working on challenge mode in Skeleseller, and you now have meta perks that you can get. So these are perks that affect your run somehow, and these are persistent. So like when you buy these, they'll affect every future run where you have this, and you can refund them and change them around if you want to. So anyway, let's say we pick, I don't know, let's say we pick some of these, and now we can start a run. So now we have, no need to get spooked, Catso. So now we have some of these perks here, and we also have some better UI around the time and the objective and everything. So this says the time elapsed. It's not a countdown timer anymore. And when you win, we now show you, we just say gold medal. I don't have a graphic for it or anything. And we show you all this other stuff, like how much reputation you got, which gives you more perk points. Got a handful of bugs done. Nice. Working on a C parser so I can do a handful of neat tricks like serialization, a bit of meta programming and namespacing. Oh, wow. Is this all for, you're working on, if I remember correctly, like a map and node thing on a hex grid? Is that related to this? I don't know if I'm even remembering correctly. Anyway, yeah, so this is starting to look pretty good. And if anyone's interested in trying the base game, the demo is available on Steam. It's like 2 hours of gameplay, so it's actually pretty generous. I'm probably going to trim that down at some point and make it only like an hour, if even that, just so that people feel like they're getting more value for buying the full game. But anyway, yeah, the demo's there. And then if people do want to help play test, I am looking for people who will eventually be able to try this mode and let me know if like these perks are kind of correct and the game is fun and you want to keep playing. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. That was a side project. Learn more about A-Star. You remember correctly? Been 10 to 15 years since I last implemented. You trying to bite me? Okay, everything's fine now. This cat. Okay, good cat. Okay, now she's attacking the heck out of my hand. What are you doing? It's my arm. Why do you have to flip out? Man. Okay, well, I was pretty much just wrapping up. It's, yeah, 3:46. I've been online for longer than it looks like, because this is the second stream of the day. Yeah, wow. So almost, not quite 7 hours, but pretty close. You disrupted her showering. I just put my arm near her. I didn't even interrupt. This would be like if someone knocked on the door while you're showering and you knocked down the shower curtain or something. Oh, man. All right, so this is stuff I'm going to do tonight. And this stuff's all kind of finished. This I don't think we need here anymore. Rude, I tell you. Rude. How dare I? Hi. Most decent cat I've seen is in frame, at least frame to shower. So respectful. I really love this cat. Let's see if I have any other cat photos I can share. No, nothing new. I just had that same one from the other day where she was looking down on me. Look at that face. Okay, I'm going to stop dragging my feet here and get going. I really appreciate everyone being here. If you'd like to join Discord, there are the links. Let me go find someone to raid. Oh, hey, let's raid B one more time. She had streamed Scalaseller. She's not streaming Scalaseller now, but still, I want to show her some support. Pass the baton to you. Yeah, sorry about that, Pheromond. I tend to end around this time on most days. Yeah, thanks for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll just be a morning stream. And I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Goodbye.